Honorable members, with humility, I want to welcome you back from your recess.
On Tuesday, 28th February 2023, Parliament granted leave to Bugiri Municipality Member of Parliament, Honorable Asuman Basalirwa, to introduce a private member's bill titled the Anti-Homosexuality Bill 2023.
The Anti-Homosexuality Act 2014 was on the 20th of December as passed by this Parliament to enhance our cherished values and beliefs in God and sanctity of culture, concerned that on 1st of August 2014, the aforementioned important piece of legislation was declared unconstitutional, albeit on procedural irregularities and not on merit of the same, convinced that homosexuality is a human wrong that offends the laws of Uganda, threatens the sanctity of family, the safety of our children, and the continuation of humanity through reproduction, noting that the existing law, as enacted by the colonizers, needs improvement, which is lacking in the current Penal Code Act. Now, therefore, be it collectively and resoundingly resolved that this House grants me leave to introduce a private member's bill for an act entitled the Anti-Homosexuality Bill, a draft of which is hereto attached, and do order the publication of the said bill in preparation for the first reading. I beg to move. Right on, speak.
Uganda's Vision 2040 states that by 2040, Uganda must have a healthy and productive population. This is one of the goals of Uganda Vision 2040. The issue at hand, it's a public secret already, and we need to treat this as an act of terror on our children.
We must also make it an offense for those who are promoting this amongst our children today in schools.
Our society remains under threat over the vice of homosexuality. The only people who can make laws in this country are you and me. We need to have a law in place in regards to anti-homosexuality.
During the sitting, the Speaker, Anita Among, called for punishment of officials found culpable in the alleged diversion of iron sheets meant for vulnerable youth in Karamoja.
On 15th February 2023, I received a petition from the members of Karamoja Parliamentary Group on the alleged mismanagement of relief items that were meant for vulnerable communities of Karamoja. I administratively referred the matter to a sectoral committee of presidential affairs. I gave them 2 weeks to report back to the House.
I would only like to pray that the petition is officially tabled, and should we believe that given the information available there's need for amendment of the prayers, or to even occasion another petition to rhyme with the original petition, it could be done to rhyme with the time frame given by the House. Right, Honourable Speaker.
I beg that you give guidance so that this petition is laid here and the presenters give us what are the issues that Karamoja wants this House to address.
Thank you. That issue of Karamoja came when you were on recess, we were on recess. That's why we administratively first referred there. The petition will be laid on table.
The newly elected Member of Parliament for Serere County, Honorable Emmanuel Omoding, also took oath in the sitting, the first since members of Parliament were sent on recess to monitor implementation of the parish development model.
I, Omoding Emmanuel, swear in the name of the Almighty God that I will give faithful service to this Parliament and support and uphold the Constitution of the Republic of Uganda as by law established, so help me God.
Wish you well when you're in this house, and while in this house, these are your tools that we are giving you to use. This is a constitution of the Republic of Uganda that will guide you in your day-to-day running, and this is the rules of procedure that guide your operations in the house. Good luck. In furtherance to Rule 1573 and Rule 1582 of the Rules of Procedure, you are accordingly designated to the Committee of Budget and Committee of Fiscal Infrastructure.
On Wednesday, 1st March 2023, the Speaker, Anita Among, announced that President Yoweri Museveni had returned the National Local Content Bill 2022 to Parliament for reconsideration.
I will now read the letter verbatim. Whereas the bill seeks to address and remedy the shortcomings of the defect in the existing policies, legislations and guidelines touching on the subject of the local content in Uganda, that includes the Public Procurement and Disposal of Public Assets Act 2003, that's PPDA, the Petroleum Exploration, Development and Production Act 2013, the Petroleum Exploration, Development and Production, that is the National Content Regulation 2016, Guidelines on Reservation Scheme to Promote Local Content 2018, and Buy Uganda, Build Uganda, that's Bubu policy. There is need to review some clauses to bring them into compliance with the 1995 Constitution, the East African Treaty, and other legislations, so as to avoid implementation challenges.
During the sitting, the Minister for Works and Transport, General Edward Katumba Wamala, told the House that over 5 trillion shillings is needed to execute all pending national road network projects.
UNRA is currently carrying out periodic maintenance on 2 paved national roads, covering a total of 93 kilometers, with a funding commitment of about 113 billion over the next 2 years. There's ongoing rehabilitation of 6 paved national roads, covering a total distance of 531 kilometers, with funding commitment of about 682 billion over a period of the next 3 years. A total of 7 road rehabilitation projects covering a total distance of 324 kilometers were substantially completed in the financial year 2021-2022. These projects have outstanding payments such as retention funds in accordance with the contractual terms amounting to approximately 55 billion. Among the national roads prioritized for implementation in the Integrated Transport Infrastructure Services Program, IATS, for the National Development Plan 3 period, a total of 12 covering a length of 964 kilometers are ready in advanced stages of procurement. It is estimated that they will require a funding of 3.7 trillion without the cost of land acquisition. Total requirement for rehabilitation projects under procurement and Government of Uganda counterpart funding for externally financed national road upgrading and town roads projects is approximately 1.2 trillion in the medium term. This necessitates an allocation of about 20% advance payment, which is about 240 billion in the next financial year, to enable commencement of civil works on these roads. Total requirement for national road upgrade projects in procurement but without confirmed source of funding is approximately 3.7 trillion.
What is causing a lot of these problems is inadequate provision or allocation of funds. We need to look at the issue of allocation of funds. There is also an equal distribution of these roads. I did not hear Nakapiripirit. I did not hear Bukomansimbi. We need to build the local capacity of our contractors. We are not going to continue using these people from out all the time.
The circumstances we are operating in does not give us additional money to allocate to the ever-growing priorities of government. So in the circumstances, that's why we are saying, can we reprioritize?
On Thursday, 2nd March 2023, Parliament passed the National Sports Bill 2022 that seeks to, among others, establish the National Anti-Doping Organization in Uganda in accordance with requirements of the World Anti-Doping Code.
Specifically create a National Anti-Doping Organization in Uganda as an independent body in compliance with the World Anti-Doping Code, which requires the World Anti-Doping Agency, an international agency created to promote and coordinate at the international level the fight against doping in sport in all its forms. The agency requires such bodies to be independent in order to ensure transparency and prevent its decisions being influenced.
Honorable members, I beg to move that the National Sports Bill
Proceed
2022 be read for the third time and do pass.
A bill for an act entitled the National Sports Act 2023.
Bill passed and title settled. I now adjourn the House to 2 p.m. on Tuesday.